I did not do what I supposed to do with my personal phone, so I could see messages.
Well, that's how they know we're live.
Yes.
Because we got here and then we scramble.
Well, oops, there it is.
Scrambling in two directions this morning because I
There
also
it is.
plug in my phone or plug in my laptop.
There it is.
Hi, friends.
Hey, people, how are y'all? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever. Hopefully, it's good for you.
All
So,
right.
we have one person on so far. How does it get fucking better than that?
Somebody's watching
Somebody's
already.
watching, yes. Great Scott. I guess I should share it. I think you should. I saw you that you actually share, and I was like, John, why don't you share the groups that you know? So let's share some groups. Let's see the Midwest, uh, Illinois again, Central Oregon. Good morning. Access, Lounge. Uh, you know what? I should go and do PDX dance. I
Because
was,
everybody needs a little bit of us in the
yes.
morning.
Well, how's it get fucking better than that? You know, hitting people out here to wing. UK, good evening over in the UK, South Africa,
Wow.
Brazil, Australia, Canada.
It's tomorrow in Australia.
Good Tuesday morning or evening, whatever it is for you guys over there. Uh, what else? Okay, I think that'll be it. Chatham, Chicago. We're like, what's this dude talking about? Okay, there. Philadelphia, Netherlands.
What did you title this?
Money. Dun, dun,
Just
dun.
money.
Boom, boom. Or money, 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 money. Money. So I guess that'll be enough right now. If you see it and you want to forward this, please do. Every Monday morning, 7-ish, 7-ish Portland State time,
Pacific.
Pacific Standard Time.
Pacific Daylight
Or
Time
daylight
right
time.
now.
Oh yeah, it does change from D to T, huh?
D to S, yeah.
DDS.
I
But
put PDS or PDT or CDT, and people are like, "What is that?" And I was like, "The difference
but
between
sometimes it shows up on on the world clock is that, but I guess it depends on the time of the year.
yeah, in October,
In the
November,
United States,
whenever."
we're like backwards, but this is supposed to be the last year that we're supposed to trade times. I guess when it
Yeah,
goes
but
back,
they're sticking us in daylight, which is dumb.
which say more, so we lose hours or gain hours, or
It's
we
not
really don't.
lose. You don't lose or gain. They just rearrange where the daylight is.
Yeah. So where would the
So,
daylight be? At the evening
so
or
we're waking up in the dark, which is stupid.
yeah.
But I don't think our government ever wants us to be well or rested. So I guess it
No.
doesn't matter.
Yes. Our government. Well, that's another show talking about the U.S. government.
Mm,
U.S. dope
it's a
dog, as
panel
George Clinton
discussion.
would say. Yes. That would be a nice panel. We should have some people on here like Fox versus CNN and just sit there and do them like this, both of them. Anyway, so how you
So,
doing?
I'm ripe for a money discussion
Same here.
because I'm getting a new car soon.
So you had to get a new car, not repaired.
My mechanic came and looked at my car and was like, "We have two problems, and one of them is that you need a welder, and I can't weld." And I was like, mm. "So what I hear you saying is go buy a new car."
Yeah.
Got it.
It's not
Yeah.
kind of ironic that you talking about that because I started my How to Be Money workbook class this past Saturday, and uh, some things happen in my world that I have to get really quick and magical with some finances to keep things going. Uh, and it was ironic when I asked you last night what the money piece about. It's like it's prime time, and a lot of it is. Uh, I want to talk about this one thing with money, and this is something that I'm gonna say to somebody. I hope you guys get this. I'm gonna use these terms: possibility and opportunity. They sound similar, but they're kind of interesting in my world. Opportunity arrives when I'm on the verge of like losing my shit, and I think it's an answer to something I've been asking for. Possibility has a longevity to it, and what happens is, so let me give you guys this. Now, a lot of you guys know I have my own business, and I've been working my business, and uh, it's my love. It's something that really supports me and being me. All right. Uh, so I get my supervisor decides she's going to take a new position. And so she said, John, you should think about doing this one position. I looked at it and I sent it to Tori. And Tori said, oh, man, that's right up your alley. But the times is that I would have to be like occupied with the 9 to 5 schedule on Monday through Fridays, which takes me out of everything that I desire to do. To work with an agency that I think they're a lot of fluff the government. They don't really. I don't see them. Okay, I've been there for 32 years. They don't really want big change because if they wanted, they would do things differently. And so I got really excited. I was like, oh my god, I might think about applying. And then I realized that's the opportunity. Opportunities take you away from the possibilities, which lead down the road to more ease. It has an appearance that oh my god, I'm gonna jump on this shit. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna do it. But what it is like after you get into it with it, it's like a bad lover or a lover that has a disease, a sexual disease, and you hit it, and you be like, oh shit, now I got to have shots, or I'm gonna die. I know that's a crazy analogy, but that's the difference between possibilities and opportunities to show up. And the opportunity showed up, and it still lingers out here with me because I was like, man, you could really do this here, but I can't see where I'm going in my business, but my energy perceives something much vast.
That's interesting. That's a really interesting point of view. Um, Whenever I talk about virtual assistant work,
Hmm.
people are like, so, oh my God, you're a VA, you do VA work? And I'm like, yeah, I accidentally built that business. Like the business that pays all of my bills is not my healing arts work. Mostly because I've been crying for a year, but I digress. I've marketed two things. One of them was an accident. Um, but since 2009, every VA client I have ever had has been word of mouth. Some to the extent of, hey, do you know anybody who can do this? Like the client that led me to where I am right now literally was like, do you know anybody who is a virtual assistant? And I was like, what do you need? I was like, yeah, what do you need? And she said, I need somebody to interview some writers for me. This is a resume writing company. And that led to a 4-year relationship. And me essentially doing everything on the back end of her business from that one conversation.
Hmm.
So, we were talking before we got started about like not listening to the whispers and like bulldozing through because we think it should look this way. And I'm wondering where, like, how and where that plays out with livelihoods,
Yeah,
which for those of you who are like, what? It is a livelihood is not just the money you make, not just the amount of money you make, but how you make your money.
yeah,
When you put those two things together, that is your livelihood.
yeah, yeah. And for me, here's the piece. I think that it's like today is Monday morning in the States. And there's
Mm-hmm.
so much when I wake up Monday mornings, I can feel the tension of people waking up. How many people do we know that graduate from college, got into a career or something like that, and they're miserable, but they do it because I have friends that I know the money's too good and they don't want to give up the money, so they keep on doing it. But what happens every day they go into the office, it kills their energy, their spirit, little by little, to the point that when they come to the point of retirement, they fucking die because they've earned enough money. And what I'm saying, I'm not saying everybody, but what I'm saying is that those individuals, like how many people do things that they don't love?
Yeah.
And what happens is, for me, I realize the other thing about it is asking the universe to show you things, because does the money always have, hey Julie, does the money always have to come through uh, a job? What
And is
about
it
things
always the
falling?
money?
Yeah, yeah. And is it, what is it about being that? Like, there's a theory in Access Conscious, they talk about money follows joy. And I'm like, okay, I agree with that somewhat, but then I see some miserable motherfuckers with money too. I met them. So I was like, what is that? You know, there's a lot of theories I have out there about money, you know, because there are theories that I go back and forth that I hear, and I'll be like, well, I don't know. And so what happens is, what does your body and what do you know about money?
And your particular relationship with
Ship with,
money.
yes, yes.
So I hear this will probably be a whole conversation on its own in the future. But I hear teachers and healers hating on the law of attraction.
Hmm.
And what I find is that that happens because the courtesy of the secret, the law of attraction has been misrepresented.
Yes,
They really did make it sound like I can sit here in this chair with my headphones on with some great music playing and imagine myself driving my new car. And that's all I need to get my new car. And that is utter bullshit.
yes,
Also, not what they're saying. What they're saying is when I can feel with every cell of my being that I own that new car, life is going to show up around me and deliver to me that
yes,
new car.
yes.
So I'm going to see the car that I want on Facebook Marketplace.
Hmm.
Or the algorithm's going to be like, Lila, I saw you car shopping. Here's one that you might like. And
Yes.
I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, let me go test drive that like right now. You do have to take action.
Hmm.
Nobody's going to drive up in. Actually, that's not true. Somebody walked up to me and handed me an envelope full of cash once.
Yeah, yeah,
Some strangers, not people
yeah,
that I knew, because people that I know giving me money oddly is like normalized in my system. But these were complete strangers.
yeah,
But what I'm saying is, your alignment is yours, and you can alter your alignment so that you can have the capacity to hold more, to
yeah,
receive more.
yeah,
But to say that, like, m- money follows joy and then have, Kate Spade commit suicide.
yeah,
You've seen how much Kate Spade bags cost? She
yeah,
had some money.
yeah, yeah. And here's the piece about it. So also when I look at that too, money is not just money in the bank. It's a
What
sense
more?
of wealth. A sense of wealth is where it changes the scenario dynamically. Because without the sense of wealth, then Howard Hughes, I think he owned TWA, kills himself. This is, you're talking about, you kill himself because there's a sense of wealth. You know, yesterday I did a live on whichever Instagram, and I was telling people about sitting in my backyard and feel very regal from nature, you know,
Yeah.
and spending that space. It's like right now I got a lot of stuff going on with me and my creations and around me. And so I sat in the backyard and I worked in the garden. I was planning on going walking. I didn't even do that. I just worked in the garden. And there was a oneness that I had in the garden. There was a sense of wealth. But it's also being able to ask the universe, can things show up to me more than one way? Like we talk about the gifting. You know, you're in a pretty, who, how many people, like I was saying I was either had a dream or I was like, what would it be like for my Tuesdays? I do this cooking show and I really like doing it. And I was like, touring, I was like, what would it be like for somebody to see that and help me redesign my kitchen and come in and do new sinks and countertops and stuff like that. So it's more appealing. And so, and things can, some of the shelving to be rearranged that would be more user friendly for me to continue to do more shows out of the kitchen. I really enjoy doing these shows out of my kitchen thanks to Tori Lopez, a friend of mine who suggested it, and Molly Mandelberg years ago, and I'm continuing to do it. I enjoy it. But what would it be like for someone to be like, hey, John, here's a gift. What about this? We enjoy what you're doing. Because if you do something, there are other people out there who will see that you actually enjoy being that, and they will actually come to your aid. Like, here's the ironic thing: there's a sister out of New York that I met at an SOP class, and she asked me would I be willing to join their group of bringing bars into this one foundation. And I was just like floored. I was like, wow. And I said, well, there's another guy in Atlanta, this African American brother who started school. And I was watching him. I was like, well, I want to hit him up about bringing these energetic bars to the clients in the school and to the teachers, because that's the type of stuff that I would desire to create a living beyond whatever I imagine. And of course, Keller's doing some access consciousness classes. I really enjoy that. It made a huge contribution to me, but doing it my flavor and my way, like my money book workbook. I looked at that shit and I looked at the book, and being John at motherfucking Ashford, I was like, I can't do this book, like that's flatline. So I start pulling, like yesterday, I give you an example of how you bring things in when you start to be a sense of wealth. I was like, I wanted these individuals to actually imagine another way of being with money. So what I went and I've done is I went and was looking at YouTube videos, and I come across, I don't know if you know who Willy Wonka is, Gene Wilder's version. And there was a song that he's singing about imagination. And where have we forgotten how to imagine the magic of being a child before any damage with some of our parents doing whatever the fuck they do to us? They're doing the best that they can, but that stuff. But as a kid, that kid's imagination, unless it's stumped out, like I said, it can go beyond any reality because they're not trapped. Where are people not willing to be that way with the creation of wealth? This is not simply gold. This is the being that you be. And for me, I'd be like, and when it comes to the end of it, is like, in the process of letting go, what else can you create? How many people have you heard they decided to create something, they went up and down, up and down? Like, some people might like them, but I have a boy that I like, Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey lost our life. Steve Harvey, I watched because he talked about living in a car, doing what he had to do. The early bird gets the worm. And Steve Harvey's everywhere right now. What's up, Kathy? Steve Harvey is everywhere right now. And what I'm saying is, what if everybody was willing to be the energy? I know people have different political stuff. I'm not saying that, but can you vibe with the energy of this cat wanting to be different and creating something different than ever imagined? What does that look like?
What does it look like, and what is it for you? Because everybody is different.
Yes.
It's going to be different for
Yeah.
everybody. For me, everything is slow. I am like a slow, deliberate person until I'm not. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm slow until I'm not. I look like I'm doing nothing. And then all of a sudden I have 10 complete books and people are like, what the fuck happened? I went slow.
and here's the piece about it. Lately, I've been playing with something, this energy thing I've been playing. I've been doing a lot more meditation. I've been doing a lot of things with this thing called 9 trannies out of access. And it's the weirdest fucking thing. Things have been showing up kind of weird in my world. Like, things move up faster. Things are moving. Like, I get to a certain place. I get a certain place. I don't recognize where I'm at. What if you were willing to play with the possibility, the possibilities of things just being simply possibilities? And what I
We're
say
going to
about
talk more about that. Go ahead.
the reason I say that is, sometimes people look at it and say, well, I'm in this position, I have this, I'm a mother, blank this. It's just like, but how does that one mom who has 12 children create unbelievable wealth against all odds. What didn't she buy into, or that father, or that migrant, or that brother in the hood? I mean, what didn't they buy into to create that possibility so that life could be abundant? And I said this weekend out someplace, life is full of abundance, but yet we're in this country, we're targeted that is not enough. Every
Yeah.
fucking place you look, there's abundant of grass, blades of grass, abundant of sand on the beach, abundance of stars, abundance of hummingbirds that was in my backyard yesterday. Everything that I look around, abundant of fucking weeds that I had to pull. Everything's is in abundance, but yet we think there's not enough. Who the fuck does that belong to? Where do we get that from?
Amen. And return to sender. Um, I want to revisit things being different in the future. Maybe on
No,
here, maybe not. But
say more to that because somebody's asking about it. Yeah, Kathy said, "Yay, different."
um well, when you were like, I'm here and I don't recognize it, like that, I saw something and I want to talk more about it, but I want to make, like, we've got 3 minutes before you turn into a pumpkin.
Yes.
What was the very first experience that you had that changed money for you?
Ooh, girlfriend is like nailed it. For me, it was coming to the realization that everything that I asked for actually comes into fruition. There hasn't been anything, and when I let go of the whole concept, this construct of time, everything. So, like for example, I had this conversation with you. I'll bring this. I wore this lottery shirt, okay, because I put this on because we talk about money today. You guys can see it. It's an Oregon lottery shirt. I went in and I've always known that I'm going to win a huge lottery. I just know that. And I was like, okay, let go of the construct of that. And sometimes I buy, and sometimes I buy, I say, well, I don't want to buy into this reality. But then it's like, no, I had a vision of that. So that's going to happen. I went in and my sister Lila is frozen. I hope she's there. She'll come back. So anyway, I went and bought this ticket. There you guys see you're moving. Okay. I went and bought this ticket, and when I had another ticket, I turned it in. He said, "Oh, you won $700." Well, the guy from the lottery was there, and he said, "Oh, let me give you the shirt. You won." And so I was just like, "Wow!" And there's an energy of that. It's not the lottery that, like you said, it's not the lottery winnings that I'm not gonna make the lottery the total sum because there's way more beyond that. But it's an energy of, I should say, winning. You know, because like you said, people kill themselves who have millions of dollars. So that doesn't make sure that doesn't say that they're happy.
Right.
People like, oh, people like billionaires have no, they don't have it all together. I know some people that are fucked up and got money. And I know some people who are broke and fucked up. So that's not the equation. It's an energy. There's a fucking energy. And that energy, when I realize that all things come to me, all things come to me if I ask. And now this magic of this different thing that you're talking about is that there's something in that equation with expanding that so that I can have things that most people say they can't have. I can do more things that people say that they can't do. I'm gonna call it the eraser theory. The eraser theory for me is I'm going to erase all those X possibilities that people say that you can't do that here, you can't be that here. That's an X possibility. I am going to be an example that things can be beyond. And not I'm not the only one. There's there's a lot of people like that. I think
Yeah.
it's a song by John Lennon. I like. I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I'm not alone in doing it. Because I'm tapping into something that other people do that I realize. Now it's not common, so most people are gonna be like, "Oh, the brother full of shit." Sometimes, but not this time.
Not this time. Thank you. John's turning into a pumpkin, so I'm going to give you my two. I know I asked him for one, but I have two. They go together.
Uh-huh.
One without the other one doesn't really work for me.
Yes,
I read The Richest Man in Babylon.
yes.
Grab it, read it.
Okay.
Don't get it from Amazon if you can, but if you have to, do what
Yeah.
you must. The second thing was um, a concept that I encountered before Access, but Access really helped me make it a habit, which is tithing 10% of everything that you touch to the church of you.
Yes.
So 10% of all the money that comes in, you find $1 on the street, 10% goes into your wealth fund,
Yeah.
and you don't touch it unless
And,
you're
and if you touch
invested
it,
it
then
in
you gotta
something
put it
that's
back
growing.
as soon as you can.
And I pay mine back with the interest of my credit card. If my bank can get interest, so can I.
Yes. Wow. I
So
like that. That's dope.
those are my two
I've
things.
been doing that too. Yeah.
To change your reality with money exponentially, and as if by magic, make
Yes.
a commitment to
That.
you in that
That.
form.
That.
And I'll tell stories about it in the future.
Yeah. That.
That's it,
So
I'm done.
okay. What do you got coming up? Anything?
No, not right now. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Thursday morning, I have uh energy pull SOPs that I'm doing with Paul Kearney from Ireland. My brother's from Ireland, so we're gonna do that 10 a.m. PSD
Yeah. No PDT.
PDT. Yeah,
Yes.
West Coast time. I'm telling y'all. So you can go to my website www.beingjohnasher if you want to. It's only I think it's like $50, and it's like for 30 minutes, and you get two of us together from two different parts of the planet, changes some shit.
Can
Check it
people
out.
still join the How to Become Money Workbook class?
Yes, please, 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 please. People can definitely join that. Go to www.beingjohnasher.com. You'll get recordings. There's a Telegram group. Contact me because I need to let you know some things about that we're doing to bring you up on what I call home play. Real quick, home play. Homework is like, ugh. My kids used to hate homework. Home play is like you playing. So I got some home play. You got to watch this video, Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory, just the excerpt of imagination, and then you got to do a wild list. But don't do it because you don't want no change up in your world. Uh,
Don't.
but anyway,
Definitely don't join.
uh, I'm gonna be a pumpkin, so I need to get off of here. Love you, beautiful people. We'll see you next week. Be magic and do me a favor. Be kind to you. Wink at yourself once in a while, and notice somebody and smile. Peace.
I love that.